Khalil Rountree left UFC 307 with some gruesome battle scars. Rountree endured a devastating loss in his quest for the UFC light heavyweight title against Alex Pereira this past Saturday in the main event in Salt Lake City. The bout earned Fight of the Night honors, showcasing a fierce exchange between the two fighters, but unfortunately for Rountree, he absorbed far more damage than he could dish out. Apart from the regular bumps and bruises that come with most fights in the UFC, Rountree revealed he suffered a deviated septum and already went through a painful procedure to address it. I don't know what punch, but I know that last uppercut before the body shots definitely landed on my nose, but I already had felt some pain in my head, Rountree told Kevin Iole. It could have been from that, but after we got the scans and everything the night of the fight, yeah, the doctors saw that there was some slight fracturing and a severely deviated septum, so we went right ahead and corrected that as soon as I got home. Definitely the most uncomfortable, painful procedure I've ever had last night. It was the hardest sleep. My mouth is constantly dry and just a constant headache. Inside my nose, my nasal cavities right now are just stuffed with sponges and splints. It's very, very uncomfortable. For Rountree, there's no second guessing his career following the damage he sustained at UFC 307. It was all worth it. Every scar that I have, every bump, it's all worth it, Rountree said. For me to have worked this hard to get to the point of fighting Alex in a main event for a title, everything that came with it was absolutely worth it. I wouldn't change one thing. In a recent interview with the Schmo, Conor McGregor explained why he puts Pereira as the UFC's pound-for-pound king. 2024 has been Alex Pereira's year. No one can deny that, McGregor said. If we go by that, forget belts or anything of that, it's in competition. 3 fights this year, 4 knockouts. I'd put Alex Pereira as number 1. I think he poses a lot of problems for Jon Jones also. That's a dangerous style for Jon, but it's a decent one for him because he's not so big. Jon's new to the heavyweight division, had a nice one against Cyril Gunn, but still untested at heavyweight, and I'm sure in the back of his mind, some of these guys are really big. Alex is a nice one, and still a dangerous one though, and at the core of it, it's probably even more dangerous than Stipe. I'd be excited to see that bout take place. After 3 title defenses in 7 months, Pereira is expected to take some time off before his next fight. He'll likely face the Magomed Ankalaev versus Alexander Rakic winner early next year. Sean Strickland went off on Khamzat Chimaev, calling for Khamzat to be banned from America due to his alleged connections with terrorists. Though Strickland didn't specify names, it's pretty clear he's hinting at Khamzat's ties to Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov. I love how the world just overlooks this guy's past, builds a life in Sweden, goes and becomes best friends with an absolute monster who pretty much bought him like a W. Then when the leash got too tight, he fled to Middle East. You should not be allowed in this country. You sold your soul to a terrorist dictator. You are not compatible with America. Thank God we don't do drone strikes in that part of the sandpit. Sick of the UFC forgetting it's an American company. In a follow-up post, Strickland slammed Khamzat for his crypto scandal earlier this year. As of now, the undefeated middleweight hasn't responded to the former champion's comments on social media. However, it is likely Chimaev will respond sooner rather than later, as he's previously slammed Strickland. As of now, Khamzat is expected to make his return to the cage at UFC 308 later this month. In the co-main event, Khamzat Chimaev is expected to clash with former middleweight champion Robert Whittaker. The bout will be the Chechen's first 5-round appearance in the octagon. With the victory, Khamzat Chimaev hopes to earn a title shot. However, it seems that Sean Strickland is standing in the way of that goal. What do you make of these comments from the former UFC champion? Do you agree with Sean Strickland about Khamzat Chimaev? Ilia Topuria warns Islam Makhachev ahead of possible lightweight move. Topuria will face BMF title holder Max Holloway in the UFC 308 main event later this month in Abu Dhabi. While Ilia prepares for his first featherweight title defense, he's remained vocal about possibly moving up to lightweight to face champ Makhachev. He's offered to pay for Makhachev's medical bills, which Makhachev scoffed at in a recent interview. In a recent tweet, Topuria responded to Makhachev's remarks. "I don't need to cross lines, but it seems like the kids that hang out with you will try to cross a line they can't come back from. Let's leave the kids out of it and settle it like adults inside the octagon 2025. Topuria remains undefeated in his professional MMA career, boasting recent victories over Bryce Mitchell, Josh Emmett, and Volkanovski. His upcoming showdown with Holloway is shaping up to be one of the year's most highly anticipated fights. Meanwhile, Makhachev is eyeing a return to the octagon in 2025 after his victory over Dustin Poirier at UFC 302. A hand hand injury has pushed back his plans for a comeback indefinitely. Makhachev claimed the then vacant UFC lightweight title by finishing Charles Oliveira at UFC 280. Since then, he has successfully defended his title twice against Volkanovski and once against Dustin. If Topuria decides to move up to lightweight, he'll find plenty of exciting matchups, including a potential clash with Paddy Pimblett, especially after their heated exchange at the UFC Fighter Hotel in London a few years back. Both Topuria and Makhachev have challenges to tackle in their respective divisions, but the prospect of a future super fight looms large as their rivalry intensifies. Magomed Ankalaev's manager believes Ankalaev will be the one to take out UFC light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira. Pereira intends to remain at 205 pounds, while Abdelaziz believes that Ankalaev will solidify his position as the #1 contender if he can overcome Alexander Rakic on October 26th at UFC 308. So far, no one has been able to solve Pereira's striking at light heavyweight, but Abdelaziz asserts that Ankalaev possesses the skills necessary to challenge him on his own terms. I truly believe I think he will knock out Alex Pereira, Abdelaziz told Submission Radio. I believe he has every skill set to do it, and I believe he will do it. I didn't know too much about Khalil before. I thought he was a 50-50 type of fighter. Yesterday, I'm a fan for life of Khalil Rountree. Khalil Rountree dropped him 2 times. I believe Ankalaev has way more precision, way smarter than both of them. I believe Alex Pereira's chin is a little bit better at light heavyweight, but the man has been in so many wars, and I believe his chin is not there, and it's normal. It's not knocking on him. I don't think his chin is there 100%. Abdelaziz dismissed the notion that the UFC is trying to protect Pereira by giving him favorable stylistic matchups, but sees Ankalaev as the more well-rounded fighter. I think Alex is a great champion, but I think Ankalaev is superior everywhere. Abdelaziz said, I believe Ankalaev will beat him in wrestling and grappling. I believe Ankalaev doesn't get hit. Khamzat Chimaev faces a significant challenge as he prepares to take on Robert Whittaker. Chimaev has been on a tear through the middleweight division, showcasing his wrestling prowess and relentless pressure. However, Whittaker is a former champion known for his striking acumen and fight IQ. He has faced some of the best in the division and has a solid game plan to counter Khamzat's aggressive style. Khamzat's path to victory lies in his ability to control the fight, utilizing his grappling to neutralize Whittaker's striking. If he can take Whittaker down and keep him there, it could swing the fight in his favor. On the other hand, if Whittaker can maintain distance and utilize his footwork, he can capitalize on Khamzat's vulnerabilities, potentially landing damaging strikes. Ultimately, this matchup is a clash of styles, with Khamzat's wrestling versus Whittaker's striking. It's a thrilling prospect for fight fans, and both fighters have the tools to claim victory. How they execute their game plans will be crucial in determining the outcome. Khamzat has the tendency to throw the game plan out of the window and just swing, while still dangerous. That is not the most optimal strategy against such a skilled striker as Rob Whittaker. Who do you think wins this clash? Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for daily MMA news.